So who is we know like the top, you can write down the top 5 or 6, but somebody's going to have to be that 7, 8. Is it Beauchamp? Is it Malik Beasley? I mean, he's on a
Yeah,
prove it, right? He's on a prove
yeah.
it season. So it could be him. He's put up numbers before in this league. Who do you think? Because they had to trade Grayson Allen, obviously, in this
Right.
deal. Who gets the first shot at that? Let me put it that way.
I mean, so part of me would say it's Pat Connaughton, right? Like Pat has
I
been there,
forgot Pat. My bad.
champ.
Yes,
That's all
yes.
good, but no, like championship proven. Him and Bobby are both, kind of like the bench guys from that championship team that maybe Pat slots in. Malik Beasley is going to get a chance for sure. Talking to people around the team, he's been having fun in the scrimmages playing with Giannis, which I think every shooter in the history of the Milwaukee Bucks over the last 10 years has felt the same way. But I think Beasley can get a ton of open shots. I think they're going to give Marjan a real chance. I think when you look at, him at 6'7" with the 7'1" wingspan, if you're talking about how you actually try to slow down other teams, the offensive lift is going to be light for Marjan. It's stand in the corner, sometimes cut in from there, sometimes hit a three, whatever you need to do. Like, ball's not going to be in your hands a lot. Focus on the defensive end. We need you chasing around all the shooting guards. We need you to try to, hold up against some small forwards. I think they're going to give him a real chance. And I don't know if that necessarily means he's going to start. Maybe that's Pat, like a veteran that's played with Dame, that's played with Giannis, that can
Yeah.
handle that like a little bit better, and kind of do the dirty work. And that's something that he really enjoys doing. But I think when you're looking at it, it's like kind of those three guys. And then I think one other thing that was just kind of interesting as a footnote this offseason was like, so if you look at Jay Crowder, 20 months ago, he was starting for the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs. And I understand, like, obviously last season was funky and things didn't go
Yeah.
right. And when he came to Milwaukee, he didn't look quite right. But they got him on a vet minimum. And to me, him signing that deal felt like, guys, that's on me. I know that I wasn't what I needed to be last year. Give me one more year. Like, give me a chance to prove this. And if you look at kind of like roster versatility and potential small ball lineups and stuff like that, Jay Crowder is a big dude that can hopefully help you play small ball, but it's not that small because Giannis is on the floor. So, like, you can maybe do some of that stuff. So those are kind of the four options. And I do think, like I wrote it on Sunday when the Bucks signed campaign, like I do think all four of those options present pretty diverse offerings. Like those four guys aren't the same. So
Right.
I
Right.
do think
Yeah.
Adrian.
Great flexibility
Yeah,
for
and
Adrian.
I'm not trying to say like they're all great and they should all play, but I
No,
do
but they can
think
all
like
play a role. Sure.
Adrian Griffin can play the card, see how the hand goes, and all right, well, let's try this card instead and see how that goes. So I think they can kind of work through this stuff. And with as good as the top four are, you're probably doing that in a bunch of games that you're winning, right? Like you don't
Right.
probably have to suffer too much in the standings to play through some of these experiments and play it out and try to figure out what your best lineups are going forward.
See, I feel like Marjan is going to be like a critical piece, and to me, Dame changes like the projection on him a little bit because I think you even wrote about like how to get him on the court he had to make shots, like
Right.
you
Yeah.
wanted him to shoot better, but the 6'7" wingspan, yeah, the athleticism, right? Like you kind of need that, like. The issue with this team, if there's any issue, it's how you're gonna deal with Donovan Mitchell, how you gonna deal with Jimmy Butler, right?
Yep.
How you gonna deal
Jalen
with
Brown.
Jalen
Yeah.
Brown and Jay, like, you know what I'm saying?